Hello, and welcome to another AASHTOWare project tutorial video. In this tutorial, we will be discussing contract vendor assets. Contract vendor assets is the method by which assets are added to contractors for each contract. This information is used on daily work reports. The three types are equipment, personnel, and staff. Vendor equipment is contractor's equipment used on the contract. Vendor personnel is the contractor's employee type used on the contract. Vendor staff is the contractor's supervisor's name used on the contract. To manage the contract vendor assets, click the Contract Vendor Assets link from the home screen. This will open the Contract Vendor Asset Overview screen. From here, you can see all contracts in which you have contract authority to view. All vendors and the number of vendor assets can be viewed here. Managing the vendor assets is the same for equipment, personnel, and staff. In this tutorial, only managing the vendor equipment will be demonstrated. You can filter your contract by using the search box. Locate the contract and vendor you would like to manage. Using the row action menu, select Open Equipment. The Vendor Asset Summary screen will open. Select the Equipment tab from the left side of the screen. In order to add equipment, enter an ID number into the Equipment ID field. This ID only needs to be unique for this contract. Enter the description of the equipment you would like to add in the Equipment Description field. Enter today's date as the effective date. Set the status to active. You can add additional equipment by clicking the New button and repeating the previous steps. Once finished, click Save. These records will now be selectable in a DWR as vendor equipment. You can only delete a record if it has never been used on a contract. To delete an equipment record, select the Row Action menu and click Delete. Next, press Save. If it has been used on a contract, the record can be expired by entering tomorrow's date into the expiration date field and saving. As an alternative to adding contractor or vendor-specific assets, there is an option to use generic assets. While adding assets from within a DWR, generic equipment and generic personnel will be available as a selection. Generic staff will not be utilized by the SCDOT. This will be discussed in further detail in the DWR manual. These generic assets are a list of commonly used assets and will be selectable on DWRs for every contract and contractor. Generic assets can be updated as needed if the asset will benefit all contracts. Please contact the AASHTOWare project administrator to add generic assets. This concludes this tutorial. If you have any questions about contract vendor assets, please contact the AASHTOWare project administrator. Have a good day.